Alright, so we've been talking about algebra this week. And one of the components of algebra is exponents. Some of you may have learned about exponents before. Some of you were doing on IXL, you were doing exponents. So this is our exponents introduction. We're not going to worry about the top part right now where it's talking about the arrays. We're going to move in since we're trying to get our rotations in. So we're going to move in. We're going to talk about exponents. All right. What is an exponent should be your question. All right. So if I have 5 raised to the 4th power, this is an exponent. Okay. This is what an exponent looks like. An exponent has 2 pieces. It has the base and it has the exponent. The big number right here is your base. Okay? Your little number is called the exponent. The base tells us what number we're going to be multiplying by, and the exponent tells us how many times we're going to multiply it. So 5 to the 4th power is not 5 times 4. That's where your biggest mistake's going to come in. You're going to try to do 5 times 4. What is 5 times 4?
20.
20. It is not equal to 20. What this means is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And if I put that in my calculator later, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, what do I get? Put it in your calculator. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Hmm?
1, 4, 6, 2, 5.
Oh, I need that one.
Put it in 4 times. What did you get? 625. You're going to want a calculator for these because these numbers are going to get really big. So you're going to want to have a calculator handy. Okay? There's a big difference between 5 times 4 equals 20 and 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 equals 625, isn't there? You'd rather have $625 versus $20, right? I know I would. So you're going to have to be careful with that. All right? So it says the base is the number being multiplied by itself. And you need to be filling this out as I fill it out, okay? So an example. We have 9 raised to the 2nd power. Which one's going to be the base here? The 9 or the 2? 9 or the 2?
9.
9. And 6 raised to the 4th power, which one?
6.
6. Okay, the big number is the base. Yes, sir.
The answer to the problem is 18.
Yes, it is.
9 times 9.
Right. The exponent determines the number of times the base is multiplied by itself. So examples, 3 to the 5th power. 3 or the 5 is the exponent. Which one's the exponent?
5.
The 5. And 2 to the 7th power, which one's the exponent?
7.
And then another little tidbit of information. Any number raised to the 2nd or to the 2nd power is said to be squared. We call it squared. So if I have 9 to the 2nd power, we call that 9 squared. If I have 7 to the 2nd power, I call that 7 squared. Okay? All right. Questions so far? We're good? All right. Make sure you got your notes filled in.
Yeah, we got to use that.
All right. At the bottom of your page, you have these practice right here. We have 3 to the 4th power. Which one's the base?
3.
Which one's the exponent?
4.
All All right, take a second and fill those out. All right, 7 to the third power, which one's the base?
7.
Which one's the exponent?
3.
Which one's the base?
9.
Which one's the exponent?
2.
Which one's the base?
8.
Which one's the exponent?
9.
Which one's the base?
12.
All right. So a tidbit of information some of you may find out on Excel. Anytime an exponent is raised to the 0 power is equal to what?
1.
1. Anytime it's raised to the 0 power equals 1. If it's 1 million raised to the 0 power, it equals
1.
1. Okay, that's something very important to remember. It's going to make your life easier too. Because anytime you see something with a 0 power up there, it's going to equal 1. How would I write 3 to the 4th power out? How would I write that out?
3 times 3 times 3 times 3.
3 is the number that we're multiplying. The exponent tells us how many times we're going to multiply it.
36.
So, not 36. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. It would equal 81.
Oh, yes.
All right, 7 to the 3rd power. How would I write that out?
7.7.
3 sevens.
Are we adding or multiplying? We're multiplying. So 7 times 7 times 7. It would equal 343. All right. You starting to get the picture a little bit? All right, we've got these charts down here. It says term-based exponent. We want to write the term. So we've got 5 as the base and 3 as the exponent. So what's going to be the big number? 5 raised to what power? 3. We read this as 5 raised to the 3rd power. Okay? 19 squared, what's the base?
19.
What's the exponent?
2.
Okay, can you fill those out? All right, take a second and fill those out. Shouldn't take you long.
Both sides?
Mm-hmm. Fill out both sides of the charts.
Yep. We really gotta use that.
When the lights turn on, it'll be fine. All right. We good? All right. Turn the page. And up at the top of the page, we've got 2 more vocabulary words. We've got expanded form and standard form. Expanded form is when we multiply out the exponent like we did on the other side. So for example, we have 6 raised to the 3rd power.
So put 3 6.
So what's the number we're multiplying?
6.
6. How many 6s are we going to have?
3.
So 6 times 6 times 6.
See, when I was on Excel, I figured that out.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta do, like, say 5, and how many 5s were up there. Just do that to get it.
Mm-hmm. So 3 to the 6th power. How would I write that?
3.6. 3 times 6 times 3.
Mm.
Oh no.
How would I write it?
3 times 3 times 3 times
We would do it how many times?
6 times.
6 times. We multiply 3 6 times.
Okay, now we got
When a number is raised to a power or when the number is simplified, then it is called standard form. So when we simplify it or we solve it, it's called standard form. All right, now we've got some practice problems down below that. I want you to cross out the 36. We're not going to practice working backwards right now. And cross out 27. We're not going to work backwards. Okay? Also, before I let you go and practice it on your own, I want you to look at the bottom two examples. You've got 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. How on earth do I write that as an exponent? Think about it for a second. Can we split it up and maybe make 2 different exponents? Yeah. So my first exponent, I'm working with 2's. So what's my base going to be? 2. And how many 2's do I have? 2. So it'd be 2 squared. And since we're multiplying in between them, we're going to multiply. We're working with 5. So what's my base going to be? 5. And how many 5's are there? So it's going to be 5 squared. So 2 squared times 5 squared. And you just plug in your calculator. 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. What does that equal? 100. All right, how would I write 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 6 times 6? How would I write that as an exponent? What do I have first? 3's. How many 3's do I have?
4.
So it's going to be, how would I write it? 3 raised to the 4th power. I'm multiplying between them, so I put a multiplication sign. What's my base going to be for the next one?
6.
Raised to the what?
Second power.
Second power. And I would just multiply. Alright, so I want you to fill this out, this chart out. When you get done filling that out, the next page in your packet, if you turn it over, it's going to be what's for homework tonight. I want you to go ahead and turn it over because I want you to cross out numbers 6 and 7. You're not going to do numbers 6 and 7 for homework tonight. So cross that out. So you need to finish this chart right here, and then you need to finish the next page where it says homework. It even says in the top left corner, homework 1, intro to exponents. All you're going to do is you're going to draw a line to connect from the exponent form to the expanded form, and then solve for it and connect it to the standard form. The correct one, okay? Alright. Do that, and then tomorrow we're going to move into some order of operations. Okay? So that's what we're going to do tomorrow.